But let's talk about the Lakers and everything going on with LeBron James.
I almost got put on waivers by my family. I just want you to know that, so I could do this podcast the way this podcast should be done. Let's talk about renting players. Changes beginning. I guess the big question, Laker fan, right change? We're talking about the acquisition of another center. This comes on the heels of LeBron James picking up the $52.6 million final year of his contract option to come back and play. Although there's a sentiment out there he did this because now he's going to try to force a trade somewhere else. Although I can't see anybody wanting that contract and that guy for 1 year. But at the end of the day, the Lakers, who just don't have enough players besides Luka Doncic, King James, and Austin Reeves, went out and got a player. I don't know if he's the right guy. I'm talking about what has transpired with the acquisition of the center who used to be in Phoenix, went to Portland, got bought out. Deandre Ayton, big 7-footer. Athlete, run the floor, rebounder, can score. 15 points, 7 rebounds a game. But his career has been really spotty. Phoenix got rid of him after all those years after he was a number 1 pick in the draft, and Portland got rid of him 2 years after they brought him on board. The scouting reports are just really cloudy about this guy. Roams the floor, no intensity, no consistency, no stake in the action emotionally, soft, would rather take a jumper in the middle of the lane than try to go to the basket, draw fouls, and score. Is he the right guy? I tend to think he was the best of the guys in the paint that were available, aside from Walker Kessler from Utah. But the Lakers got him on a 1 year plus an option contract. So you can say, well, Lee, he was a number 1 pick overall. Lee, this guy's got good statistics. But I'm telling you, he's so hot and cold, and the tantrums and the junk off the court in the locker room, the tardiness, the stuff that's been written about in Phoenix and Portland, that's kind of a red flag for me. And if he was that great, why would he go from a $24 million a year guy in the paint to a guy signing a 1+1 contract for only $8 million, dragging all his baggage with him? So it's a huge issue as to whether the Lakers got the right center, got the right guy. So connect the dots with me on that. Free agency, the Lakers have signed one guy. His name is Jake LaRavia, 6'8", shooting forward, cup of coffee, Memphis, can shoot threes, can play some defense, but he's not played very much. And if he was really good, wouldn't Memphis have kept him? Anyhow, LaRavia is the only free agent they brought in. They lost a guy. They lost Dorian Finney-Smith. He opted out of his contract. He wanted multi-years. Lakers offered 2. Houston took him for 4. A 4-year contract for a pretty good defensive specialist. And the coaching staff for the Lakers really liked him, and he bolted. Now, this is a guy that the Lakers traded a whole pile of draft picks for to rent for half a season. Dorian Finney-Smith is gone to the Houston Rockets. There were trade rumors out there. Last time we talked to you, there was talk about a Laker-Miami trade for Andrew Wiggins. But at the end of the day, the Lakers just refused to make a 3-for-1 trade to rent a guy. There was also, obviously, the Kessler trade. But the Lakers demanded a swap of picks in addition to the 3-for-1 transaction. Utah said no. So Utah, at this point, has held on to him. And the other thing is the storyline that's running around the NBA, and some of this is emanating out of Cleveland, about LeBron's agent's speech after LeBron picked up the final option of the contract, in which said LeBron is committed, he wants to be on a championship team. What people are inferring, notably out of Cleveland, is that LeBron is going to be a trade piece. That when you pick up an option and there's no extension tagged onto that option, that means 1 year, or 1 year you become an expiring contract, which means you become a trade piece. I find that hard to believe. I guess I'll have to ask you, because you have been a critic in your corner of the castle. You don't believe that LeBron's the right guy any longer in LA, and you like a lot of fans would like to see him go. I don't know that I buy it. So, John, Is Ayton the right guy in the paint? What do you think about all the baggage he brings with him getting off the plane in Portland? And then your thoughts on LeBron and what they have or have not been able to do with the roster, because this has been a really busy week in the NBA. John, the floor is yours. Don't shoot an air ball when you take this next 3-point shot.
Okay. Well, first of all, I remember Deandre Ayton at U of A, and he was a beast in college. And when he went number 1 overall, that made a lot of sense in that draft. So I really expected him a great NBA career. So maybe do you think the Lakers think that they can, you get in the right environment with, Showtime and LA and all the glitz, that they think they can bring out from Deandre Ayton what he should have been the whole time? I don't know. What's your take on that, Lee?
I concur with you. I think that maybe they feel there's peer pressure, from LeBron. Is there peer pressure from Luka? I don't know. But this guy had the world in front of him as a Phoenix Sun, and they got tired after 3 or 4 years, and they let him go. Yeah. And he was supposed to be the focal point of the rebuild in Portland, and look how that turned out. And Portland was terrible, and they bought him out, ate the contract. So next chance for Deandre Ayton is probably going to be his last chance in the NBA, because I'll guarantee you right now, he is not the player nor the prospect that we all thought coming out of the University of Arizona. Boy, there's an awful lot of baggage there.
Yeah, there really is a lot of baggage there. But I wanted to say one more thing about the Lakers. Is over the last few nights, I rewatched the 30 for 30 on the Lakers Celtics rivalry, and that it's on Netflix, and it's just so great. I mean, the way they go back to the 60s, an hour back, and Bill Russell, and the way that they would always beat the Lakers, and then the resurgence of the rivalry in the 80s and the whole Magic Bird bit. I mean, those were just great times in the NBA in the 1980s, weren't they, Lee?
Jerry West doesn't think so. The late, great Jerry West. They only won 1 championship against Boston during that era. But at the end of the day, you're correct. I mean, it was all things greatness Lakers back in the day, and then the Jerry Buss era, all things greatness Boston, whether that was Red Auerbach, Tommy Heinsohn, Bob Cousy, Bill Russell, that whole entourage, and then the Larry Bird Lakers. So, yeah, I mean, you're talking about flagship carriers in the NBA, these guys for sure.